The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, good afternoon and good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for being here today. My name is Charlie Sylvia, and I'm with Cruise Lines International Association. Thank you for being on today's call. Today, we're here to discuss CLIA's business building benefits and how you can gain competitive advantage that you need. So it's a pleasure to have all of you with us. I am going to give folks a moment to log into the webinar because I know we have more than 300 people who have registered for this particular session. We will be recording it. As a matter of fact, we're recording it right now, and a copy of this recording will be downloaded, and the link will be emailed to everyone on this call. So you will receive the link after the webinar. We'll also be answering questions. So if you have any questions, please use the questions module of the GoToWebinar panel, and we'll be answering questions at the end of the presentation. Shouldn't go more than about 25-30 minutes tops, and then we'll have about 15 minutes for questions. This content is designed for all current 2017 CLIA members. That's both travel agency owners, travel agency members, and individual agent members. So this is relevant content to both. And let me put up my information right now. My contact information, again, my name is Charlie Sylvia. I'm Vice President of Membership and Trade Relations with CLIA. Don't hesitate to reach out to me and my team. You've got the email and direct phone number there. If there's anything that you ever need, also, feel free to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CLIA Veep. I'm always traveling all over the country all the time, meeting with cruise line leaders and with travel agents everywhere. So you never know who you're going to see pop up. I also put a lot of really helpful and useful content that you can use for your business on these platforms. So don't hesitate to share or use any of the content that you see shared on the social media. Also today, so I'm coming to you from Providence, Rhode Island, where I live and work, and I think we're going to get about 14 inches of snow today. But we've got Danielle Haney, who's at CLIA Global Headquarters in Washington, D.C. Are you there, Danielle?
Hi, everyone. So happy to be here today.
Well, Danielle, there's not a speck of snow on the ground in Washington, is there?
There's not, no.
Well, you should be getting some soon, but I hope you don't get as much as we have here in Providence. So, ladies and gentlemen, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I see that we've got a couple hundred people on the call already, so we're going to get started. Here's what you'll learn today. We're going to share with you how you can use CLIA membership as a competitive advantage. And believe it or not, there are aspects to your membership with CLIA beyond just the simple bonus commissions and personal travel perks. There are other aspects of your CLIA membership that help you gain competitive advantage, of course, if you use them. And we're going to show you what they are and how to use them today. We're also going to show you how to position yourself as a cruise travel expert and how doing so will help you capture more attention and, believe it or not, free publicity. This is extremely important. There is a live CLIA training that Heidi Olson and John Bateman facilitate. It's called What Have You Done for PR Lately? Or What Has PR Done for You Lately, I should say. And this is kind of a takeoff on that course. We're going to show you a little bit about how you can differentiate yourself and position yourself as a go-to person with your local media. And then we'll show you how to develop a strong community of loyal clients who regularly refer business your way. And that's something that we all want, obviously. And there are some rudimentary and fundamental aspects to this portion, but also there's some things that you may not have thought of before. So let's get into the content, shall we? Please don't hesitate to use the questions module. I see a bunch of people who are logging on presently. So please feel free to ask questions. We will be answering them at the end of the session. So let's start off with something very, very basic and simple, but something that I would say about 90% or 99% of our members, CLIA members, and just to give you an idea of how many CLIA members there are, in the United States and Canada, there are 9,700 CLIA travel agency members and more than 22,000 CLIA individual agent members for 2017. So, and I would feel very safe in saying that about 99% of them do not use the CLIA logo as they should. Now, bear in mind that CLIA logo usage is part of your member benefits, and please don't take it for granted. I've been a member of CLIA for going on 23 years now, and since the day I started with CLIA back in 1994 as a member, I was a travel agent in my hometown of Fairhaven, Massachusetts, a little brick and mortar travel agency. When I started selling cruises, I immediately became a member of CLIA, and I immediately started using the CLIA logo. Of course, nowadays you can just download it from your My CLIA online dashboard, and I'll show you how to do that. But back then you had this big sheet that was camera ready that you would bring to the printer. And so I had the CLIA logo on my business cards. I had it. I had a little notepad that I had that said "From the desk of Charlie Sylvia." I had it there. I used it. But remember, it's a narrative. It's not just there to be there. You should be using it as you can see on your website, on your business cards, and your email signature, and include your certification letters. You know, I am an ECC, an Elite Cruise Counselor. Those 3 letters follow my name everywhere I go, whether it's in print, whether it's digital. Everywhere I go, the ECC follows my name. So this should be on your business card, your certification, and your CLIA logo. And it means nothing, ladies and gentlemen, unless you tell your clients and prospects what that logo means. And here's how I used to do it. I used to simply say, see this logo right here, this symbol right there, that signifies that I'm part of the Worldwide Cruise Trade Association, Worldwide Cruise Industry Trade Association. And that those letters after my name, that means that I'm a certified cruise counselor by the travel industry, by the cruise industry. Now you can use the words that you want, but the long and short of it is this. This is a narrative. Your membership in CLIA is something that you should be sharing with everyone, all of your prospects, all of your clients. You should let them know that you are part of the Worldwide Cruise Industry Trade Association. That's what I used to say. I used to say Worldwide Cruise Industry Trade Association. I didn't say CLIA because CLIA doesn't mean anything to consumers. It's not supposed to. CLIA is a trade organization, so we face the trade. We don't face consumers. But I would tell them that I'm part of the Worldwide Cruise Industry Trade Association, and I've been certified by them as a professional seller of cruise travel. An experienced professional seller of cruise travel. Just means that I have a commitment to professional excellence. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Nowadays, when people call you up or email you looking for pricing and availability on a cruise or looking for guidance with respect to a cruise vacation, they're not just talking with you. Believe me, they're talking with 2 or 3 other agents. And when I tell you that you all may be members of CLIA, all of the agents with whom your prospect is talking, you all may be members of CLIA. But this is something, if you're the one to take advantage of the narrative of what it means to be a CLIA member, what that commitment is, and the fact that you're working hard to deliver to your clients the best possible experience, not just the cruise experience, but their experience with you as a cruise travel sales professional. That's going to mean a lot. And that little CLIA logo on your business card, that's going to be a silent salesperson for you. So that whenever they look at your card, they're going to remember that, and maybe they're looking at other cards too that don't have it on there. So please, at the very fundamental, at the base of all of it is your CLIA usage. So let me show you how to get the CLIA logo so that I'm not just telling you about it, but I'm also giving you the practical information. I'm going to open a browser, and I'm going to go to cruising.org and sign in. There we go. It couldn't be simpler. And for those of you who don't know your My CLIA login credentials, I can show you how to get that too. So let me make this bigger. There. Okay. So here's cruising.org, the main page. And just go up to login/join in the upper right-hand corner. And if you're a CLIA member, then you already have a CLIA account. If you don't remember what your password is, just click Forgot Password. I'm going to log in. And here's the landing page for the My CLIA online dashboard for me. And if I want to use the CLIA logo, I just go over to My Marketing. See this tab right here, My Marketing? I'm going to click on that. And then over here is the CLIA logos. Over here are the CLIA logos, I should say, on the left-hand side. And there's a variety of sizes. I would probably use the larger CLIA logo at the bottom of my website, or even at the top of my website if I'm a travel agency owner, to show that you're a member of Cruise Lines International Association. This one here, where the name of CLIA is underneath the logo, that one's probably best for an email signature. And then this one right here, I would put on my business card. So again, I logged into My CLIA, I clicked on My Marketing, and there are the CLIA logos. Okay, next. CLIA certification. Now, I talked with, just briefly about the ECC, my Elite Cruise Counselor status, and many of you on the call may be accredited cruise counselors or master cruise counselors or elite cruise counselors. And we just recently, because our certification program has been refreshed for the first time in 12 years, we just recently added certified cruise counselor. But let me share with you the importance of your CLIA certification. In 2013, we conducted a survey of more than 20,000 agent members of CLIA. All 20,000 were members of CLIA, and they fell into three different categories. There were members of CLIA who had never taken a CLIA course before. There were also members of CLIA who were working on their first level of certification. They had not achieved it yet, but they were working on it. And then lastly, there were members of CLIA who had achieved one or more levels of certification. And you know what? We did a comparison. We compared the second and third groups, the groups that were working on their first level of certification and the ones that had achieved one or more levels of certification. We compared their sales productivity with that of the members of CLIA who had never taken a course. And do you know how that compared? Groups 2 and 3 sold comparatively 261% of the cruise sales volume compared to the first group. 261%. Now, I say this to you, ladies and gentlemen, because it's vitally important for you to understand that you are entitled to, if you are a member of CLIA, an individual agent member of CLIA, you are entitled to at least 2 free CLIA online courses. Now, you can access those courses simply by going to professional development on My CLIA and ordering a course from the course catalog. And you'll see that those first 2 courses that you buy, when you get to the checkout, will have zeroed out. So the $49 cost per course will now become zero. So now that's $98 worth of value that you have coming to you, at least. Some of you who are affiliated with Premier Agency members, you're entitled to 6 free courses. So it's important for you to take advantage of your courses. They all come with credits that can help you achieve or help you apply toward your certification. So you want to definitely make certain that you're not leaving anything on the table in terms of your courses. Also, too, let's talk for a moment about Cruise Agent Finder. Now, Cruise Agent Finder is an important aspect of cruising.org because it will help you actually receive leads from the CLIA website. And every month, now this is something worth writing down, every single month, cruising.org receives 7,000 unique consumer visits a month. 7,000. Now these are consumers who want to learn more about cruising and who want to find a travel agent. And what they do is they click here, find a travel agent. That's where they can go to locate a CLIA affiliated or a CLIA member travel agent from whom to purchase a cruise. So let's go to Cruise Agent Finder right now. And I'm going to show you why certification is important on Cruise Agent Finder. So now let's say, for example, that I'm going to use Danielle, I'm going to use Washington, D.C. So I'm going to put in the zip code 20004, and then I'm going to search for a travel agent that's located within, let's say, 25 miles of me, and I'm going to click search. Now, when you are certified by CLIA as a cruise counselor, you come up first on the agent finder. So you can see here's an agent right here, Catherine Marshall. Now she's achieved accredited cruise counselor. She's also achieved master cruise counselor, and she's now elite cruise counselor. And over here is a legend so that consumers can understand what these certification levels mean. They can actually see that the green E means that this particular agent has what is the equivalent to a PhD in cruise travel. So it's vitally important that not only you're pursuing certification, that you make sure that your certification, your membership is up to date so that you can be sought after and found by consumers with CLIA's Cruise Agent Finder. Now I'm going to show you how to update your profile information so that you're making sure that you're getting these leads. When you're signed into My CLIA, what you want to do is, it's so simple. It's the second button right here, My Profile, and you just go in there and make certain that all of your contact information is up to date so that consumers can contact you. You can also upload your photo for your Embark ID, which is the photographic identification for CLIA, the one that you receive each and every year. So Cruise Agent Finder, extremely important. Make certain that that certification, that you're working toward that certification so that you're listed first on CLIA Cruise Agent Finder. So now let's talk about leveraging CLIA resources, because this is really where where CLIA has done a lot of the work for you. We've provided you with tremendous content so that you can be focusing on answering phone calls and emails and getting pricing and availability for your clients and closing and selling cruises. That's what we're trying to help you do here. So we've created a lot of this content for you. And if you take the time to go into the My CLIA online dashboard, now remember, as an individual agent member, or actually, let me step back. As a travel agency member, you'll receive a welcome kit in the mail, physical welcome kit that'll have your certificate, it'll have your booklet of all of your bonus commission vouchers from the cruise line members. It'll also provide you with information that you need to know. But when you're an individual agent member, everything is located on the My CLIA online dashboard. So that's where you get all of your benefits. Now naturally you'll receive your Embark ID in the mail. That gets mailed by CLIA directly to you. And that's a brand new thing. We used to mail them to the travel agency first, and then the travel agency would send it to you. But now we're mailing them directly to agents to save time. Well, let's talk about My CLIA, because once you receive your Embark ID, I mean, your CLIA membership is not simply the process of receiving an Embark ID. It's being part of a global community of professionals who drive the cruise industry forward. So we're going to show you how to access all of these benefits and resources. So let's take a look at them. I've listed some of them here. Social media content, Cruise TV videos. We have a video communications platform called Cruise TV, CLIA Cruise TV. There's tremendously valuable video content on there that you can not only train yourself with, but also that you can share with your clients on things like river cruising, multi-generational cruising, family reunions, affinity groups, luxury cruising, expeditions, all sorts of things like that. Cruiseforward.org, that's our public affairs side. So this is where you're really getting empowered to speak to issues affecting the cruise industry. So with cruiseforward.org, we give you some travel agent talking points on topics like Zika virus, topics like norovirus and man overboard and things of that nature, things that a lot of agents might be afraid to talk about. Well, we empower you with the facts. And when you read the information that we have for you, guess what? The facts are on your side. Cruising is the safest, most secure, healthiest vacation option for your clients, and we are sustainable. So our cruise lines are responsible stewards of the environments on which they sail. And then, of course, the 2017 State of the Cruise Industry. There's so much information there. These little sound bites. Now, these can position you as an expert in cruise travel. So let me show you a little bit about where you can access this information. We'll start with, obviously, social media. So I'm going over here to My CLIA, and again, I'm going over to My Marketing because I want to check out the social media. Now, make certain that you are following CLIA. So clicking on social media, make sure you're following us on Facebook and on Twitter. And don't forget, you know, we've got a lot of tremendously compelling and interesting content on there about cruising that consumers in your marketplace would find useful. So follow us on Facebook and Twitter and get notifications when CLIA, I'm going to show you how to do it. So when I'm going to click on Facebook, and that takes me to CLIA, and then see, I'm following it right here. So obviously I've liked this page and I'm following it, but then when you hover over following, you can then, I see it first in my news feed, you can click that, and then notifications are on. So I've clicked this, so I'm notified whenever CLIA posts something. And I mean, shucks, the posts that we put up, there's tremendous information about luxury cruise trends. Check this out. I mean, all of these different stories and articles that you can be sharing with your clients on cruising. It's very, very interesting. And it's interesting to your consumers, to the clients in your area. Also, you can do the same with Twitter. If you click on our Twitter to go to CLIA Global, it's right over here. Not only do you want to follow us, but you also, I believe if you click this little gear here, you can turn on, I have them on already, so it says turn off, but you can turn on mobile notifications. Very, very important that you receive our social media posts because they can become your social media posts so that you don't have to rewrite them. You don't have to spend time thinking about content. Let us provide you with the content for your consumers. Now, I also mentioned about CLIA Cruise TV. Let me take us over to CLIA Cruise TV for just a moment. There's a lot of amazing content on here. And these are videos that you can share with your clients. Look at this. This year's new cruise ship innovations. Let's see. Oh, this was a wonderful thing. The Regent Seven Seas Explorer. It's a brand new cruise ship. We just did a CLIA on board where we got on board the ship and we took you on a tour of the vessel. There's great content there. But you name it. You can go into the category. Look at all these categories of cruising. And so say you want to bring up something on river cruising. Look, the Loire River, Provence, Italy, the merits of river cruising. These are videos that you can use to train yourself and also to share with your clients. So very, very important that you take advantage of CLIA Cruise TV. Remember that this is a free benefit that you receive, or not a free benefit, it's a benefit that you receive as a result of your being a CLIA member. Now, Cruise Forward, I talked about that. Let's just talk about, let me show you some of the social media content that can be shared on Cruise Forward. Cruise Forward, just as to reiterate, is the public affairs side of CLIA. So Cruise Forward has a lot of content on safety, security, health, and sustainability of the cruise industry. Now customers are very interested in this because this is the area where you're going to dispel a lot of myths. So especially for new to cruise passengers, there's a lot of information here that you'll find very, very helpful. Also, for millennials, everyone's talking about millennial customers, right? Millennial passengers. Well, they're very, very, what's very important to them, the research tells us, is sustainability. They want to know that the cruise industry is a good steward for the environments in which they sail. So let's talk about health for a second. So I'm over here at well-being and health, and there's actually a great statistic, and hopefully I can find it on norovirus. Let me see if I can find it. I want to make sure it's a graphic that you can actually use. Let's see, norovirus fact sheets, myths and realities. Oh, here it is. I found it. So check out this graphic right here. Norovirus, not a cruise virus. Did you know that when you go to a hotel or a concert or a bowling alley or a theme park, that you have a 1 in 15 chance of contracting norovirus? I'm actually going to make this bigger. Hang on one second. There we go. 1 in 15 chance of contracting norovirus on land. Look what it is on sea. It's 1 in 12,000. 1 in 12,000. You are 750 times more likely to get norovirus on land than you are on a cruise ship. Do you know who cited that? That comes from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So that's a federal agency, ladies and gentlemen. So this is information that is extremely important. It's important because it's relevant to your customers, to your marketplace. And all of the information that you find on Cruise Forward, whether it's about security or safety or health, all that information is yours for the picking. You can use this information. You have rights to use this information because of your CLIA membership. So that's cruiseforward.org. So again, to access CLIA Cruise TV and cruiseforward.org, I simply went from the My CLIA homepage to My Marketing. And then I went to social media. And there's other great information here. Remember I talked about the travel agent talking points? So here's travel agent talking points on a variety of different matters that people think that they have a lot of myths or they have a lot of misinformation about. So the more good information, the more positive information, the more did you know information, those are powerful. Did you know? The more you're positioning yourself as an industry or a cruise travel expert. Now let's go over here about the industry. Talking about expert. See this research button? Click on that and pull up the state of the cruise industry, the 2017 state of the cruise industry. There is so much wonderful information in the state of the cruise industry. I'm going to see if I can pop this out and share it with you. This is yours for the taking. Thousands and thousands of dollars worth of research, ladies and gentlemen, and all for the price of your CLIA membership. So this was done in December of 2016. This is the 2017 Cruise Industry Outlook, and it provides you with terrific information about the cruise industry. Information, let me get past, there we go. Here's the Outlook. Information about passenger capacity. 25.3 million passengers expected to cruise in 2017. This is information that you can use. You can write about it. You can put it out there in social media. You can create a press release from your travel agency to talk about the upsurge in cruising. You can talk about the new ships. Look at all the new ships that are coming out. We've got, what, in 2017, 26 ships coming out in 2016. And wow, look at that trend. 50-50. Ocean to river. That's a story right there. That shows you that river cruising is booming. And then look at the capacity of those ships. 30,006 new berths that we have to fill each and every time that those ships sail. This is great information. 8 out of 10 of our agents have stated that they're expecting an increase in sales, in cruise sales, in 2017 over last year. And then economic impact. Look at that. These are facts. You know, your local media, they need information to fill their newspapers, fill their websites, whether it be on the radio or television station. They need data. They need experts to come forward and say, hey, I am a travel agency owner or I am a travel agent in the local area. And guess what? I'm an expert in the cruise industry. I am with I am part of an association called Cruise Lines International Association. I am a certified cruise counselor. That means that I'm a professional seller of cruise travel. Look at this. Look at this. It's past 6 years. CLIA travel agents have doubled in the past 6 years. You know why they've doubled? Because more people are going on a cruise. It gives you all the trends. It talks about the fact that millennials and Generation X people are embracing cruising like never before. Talks about travel agent use increasing, river cruise demand increasing. There's so much information here on the 2017 state of the cruise industry, and it's still fresh. You know, there's still a story to be told here, ladies and gentlemen. So make use of it. Take advantage of this document. Again, it's yours free. So we covered social media content. We've covered the cruise TV videos, Cruise Forward, travel agent talking points. Now I'm going to, and the state of the cruise industry. Now let's talk about publicity, because I've talked about all of this content. Let's talk about how you can earn media attention for free. And publicity, remember, publicity is giving someone a reason to talk about you. And one of the best examples I've ever seen of free publicity was an agent in the southwestern part of the United States. And when he received his first level CLIA certification, do you know what he did? When he became an accredited cruise counselor, he went out and he sent a press release. He created a press release. I asked him, how did you know how to create a press release? You know what he said to me? He said, there's this thing called Google. There's this thing called Google. So he Googled how to write a press release, and he sent a press release to his local newspapers and television station talking about how he had achieved accredited cruise counselor certification with Cruise Lines International Association, and that he was an expert in cruise travel. Now, you know what? He got phone calls from his local paper asking him to be interviewed to talk about cruising and how popular it is, and you know what kinds of people go on cruises and what experiences there are and destinations and so forth. So publicity is nothing more than sharing your value, sharing new content and information that is relevant and that is informational to your local audience. So let's talk about earning media attention. So now, again, contact your local media outlets, and I'm gonna take it right from the young man who did this, and Google how to write a press release. You know what? I just did it not too long ago, and there's some terrific results that came up, and it showed me how to write a press release. You know, share newsworthy and relevant content, and when I say relevant content, I mean relevant content to your area. Now, if you're like me, I'm in Providence, Rhode Island right now, and I'm looking out my window, and I can't even see out my window because of all the snow. So, but if you're in Arizona, you might not want to talk about Caribbean cruising. You might want to share content that talks about Alaska, or talks about Asia cruising, or Mediterranean. So make certain that not only is the content that you're sharing newsworthy, but that it's also relevant. Now, when you send out a press release, the press release should be something important about you as a travel agent. It should be about your certification. You know, when you achieve your certification level, when you achieve your next one, send a press release out about it. Or if you're putting together a big group, say you're doing a group to Alaska through a local organization like a local club, you could send out a press release that says, you know, Lions Club looking to create a benefit to an Alaska cruise that benefits a local charity. There's so many newsworthy stories that you can share. You have to think about the things that you're involved in and what is news and what is not. You want to make certain, and this is highly important, this third button, this third bullet is extremely important, because that's what's going to build your credibility. There can't be any fluff, ladies and gentlemen. It has to be news that is of value to the people who are going to read it. News that's fluff is only going to make it seem like you're trying to get free publicity, and it will do exactly the opposite. So share newsworthy content. Issue a press release from your travel agency talking about how many people are cruising, or talking about new research shows that millennials are embracing travel agents. And then you can refer to all of the content that's provided to you with your CLIA benefits in order to fill that press release. That's a story. People will pick them up, news media in your area will pick up on that, and that will gain the attention of people that maybe don't know about you, and that will drive them to you. That will help position yourself as an expert on cruise travel, and it'll give a compelling reason for people to reach out to you first when they're considering a cruise. I want you to remember this, because this is extremely important. And, I always talk about your conscience. When your conscience tells you, when you've been in this business long enough, and you've sold enough cruises, and you've been to enough places, and you've done the groups, and you've sold the destinations, and you've attended the webinars and the seminars and the ship inspections and the seminars at sea and fam trips, when in your heart of hearts, you know that you're a cruise travel expert, by gum, call yourself a cruise travel expert. And if expert is too audacious a word for you, then use the word authority, cruise travel authority. But I prefer expert, and that's precisely what I used when I was a frontline agent, cruise travel expert. And remember that the first person who will ever call you an expert is you. And you'll be amazed that once you start doing that, how many people start picking up on that, and before you know it, you are an expert. And I'll be very candid with you. Media needs experts. So your local radio station, your local television station, your local newspapers, magazines, they need experts from which to draw content, from which to draw opinions. They want to know what you think. They want to know what you're seeing and what trends you're witnessing. So please, refer to yourself as an expert when your conscience tells you that you are. You will never regret it, and it will only drive more business through your door. So let's talk for a moment about developing loyal customers. And there are a million different articles written on this particular subject. But I've read them all, believe me. But I brought up some items that I think are particularly important. These 7 items are so important for developing loyal customers, and customers that will refer people to you, refer their friends and family to you. First off, the first bullet is something that we all overlook, and it's letting them know what you're doing for them. Sometimes we just do things as travel professionals out of second nature. It's our instinct to take care of these things, but then we don't share them with our customers. And what am I talking about specifically? I'll give you an example. I had some friends who went on a cruise, and I helped plan it for them. And you know what? I picked out their cabin and so forth, and they said, oh, we had a wonderful time. And I said, did you like the location of the cabin? They said, yeah, it was really close to the elevators, but not so close that I would hear any commotion. I said, yeah, and there were a couple of conference rooms right next to your stateroom. I wanted to put you there specifically because I knew they wouldn't be used at night. So I made sure that your stateroom had a deck of staterooms above it and a deck of staterooms below it, and that you had staterooms and then these conference rooms on the sides. And I just wanted to make certain that there wasn't any noise so you can get a good night's sleep. It's something that simple, ladies and gentlemen. I also did this for some brothers who had adjoining cabins. I made sure that they were in connecting cabins. They didn't even know it until I told them that I did it. I explained it to them. Everything that you do, take a step back and view it through the eyes of the customer and remind them, let them know what you're doing for them. It only further builds the value of your services as a travel consultant. And it shows them that you care about them. You're not just looking to sell a cruise. You genuinely care about their experience. Now, this may seem like a rudimentary thing, but it's something that I bet a lot of us on the call here today have forgotten. So make sure they know exactly what you're doing for them. Also, create a 5-year plan. You know, I have a lot of folks who refer to themselves as a travel agent. Excuse me, I'm going to take a sip of water. There we go, that's better. A lot of folks refer to themselves as a travel agent, which is fine. I completely respect that. But, you know, if you really want to put on the hat, or you really want to look at yourself as a consultant more than an agent. You know, an agent, I feel strongly that agents sell commodities and not necessarily value, but consultants sell value. The value of your expertise, the value of your studies, of your experience, of everything that you've done. So create a 5-year plan with your client. Pick up the phone and contact someone who's booked a cruise from you and say to them, you know, I'd love to just set aside a half an hour to talk, either in person or on the phone, whatever you prefer. Let's talk about your 5-year plan for travel. What are the bucket list trips that you want to make in the next 5 years? What are the anniversaries and birthdays that end in a 0? You know, whether they're 30 or whether they're 80, they're going to have a birthday that ends in a 0. They're going to have an anniversary that ends in a 0. Let's map out your plan. And then you're being a true consultant. You're saying to that client, okay, I'm not looking at you just as someone who bought a cruise from me in 2017, but I want to make certain that I'm helping you plot out your travel plans in the future. You know, there's nothing more exciting. And I think a bunch of us on the call have our own travel plans thought out for the future. I know this year we're doing a river cruise in France, and we're going to be visiting some wineries and vineyards. And then I know for certain that next year I'm doing a big Alaska group with my friends and family. And I know that in 2019, we're going to be traveling to the Baltics. I can't wait to see the Baltics. I want to go to St. Petersburg. And then in 2020, we're going to do the Aegean. Now, these are trips that I know in my head are going to happen. But if you pick up the phone and you actually contact that client and you help them map this out, nothing is more exciting. Don't we always say that the anticipation of the trip is 99% of the fun, or half the fun, or whatever? Well, imagine if you help them anticipate 5 years worth of trips. That's something where you're becoming not just someone who takes an order, but you're becoming a consultant. And you're being no different than an investment professional or insurance professional. You're making certain that you're taking care of your clients in a very high level, holistic way. And it's very, very well worth approaching the 5-year plan with your clients. Write personal notes. This seems like a no-brainer, right? Handwritten notes are fantastic. Make certain that your notes are appropriate to your client. So if I had a client who was in his 50s or 60s, I would write that person, or older, I would write that person a handwritten note. If I had someone who was in their 30s or early 40s, I'd shoot them an email as a personal note, thanking them for their business. If I had a millennial, if I had someone who was in their 20s, I'd shoot them a text saying to them, hey, thanks so much for your business. It really means a lot, and I look forward to exceeding your expectations. So personal notes, but make certain that personal notes are not written in the format you prefer. Make certain that your personal notes are written in the format they prefer. What's appropriate to them? What medium, what communication medium do they use? It's all about them, ladies and gentlemen. Pick up the phone. You know, we leave voicemails and so forth, but try to get a customer on the phone. If they want to talk on the phone, that is. Again, we're dealing with changing times, and we have Gen Xers and millennials that, heck, I sold a cruise once through Facebook. Facebook Messenger, I sold a cruise. The whole cruise. But pick up the phone wherever appropriate. When you have clients that want to talk with you, make that person-to-person contact. You know, the more text messages and emails that we have in this day and age, the more impersonal things become. So if your client is open to a phone conversation, pick up the phone when you need to talk with them and just make it person-to-person. Thought this might interest you. This is great. Don't you love it when people send you things like that? Genuine things that will really interest you. I do it all the time. I do it on videos. You know, I have friends who are interested in river cruising, so whenever I see a beautiful new video come up on river cruising on YouTube from one of our cruise line members, I'll shoot it over and I'll put, thought this might interest you, or information on culinary. One of my friends is a big foodie, and so I sent him information on the Holland America Culinary Society. He loved it, the Culinary Council. And so always be sending out the thought this might interest you to information. Thoughtful content that's relevant to them and that's personal, you know. Of course, follow up always, that's a no-brainer. But so many of us get so busy. Set alarms. Are you using a customer relationship manager or a CRM? Make certain that you're setting alarms. You are not Superman and Wonder Woman. You are a human being and you forget things just like everyone else. Make sure you're setting alarms to set frequencies so that when people get back from a trip, you're reminded, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones just got back from their cruise to the Mediterranean. Send them a follow-up note. So use systems, whether they're routines or whether they're automated systems, to alarm you, to alert you to follow up. And then empower your clients to send referrals. And what do I mean by that? Give them a perk, you know. Every referral they send you, you know, give them some sort of an incentive so that when they send you a referral, they themselves get an incentive, but then empower them to give their friends and family an incentive. So let's say maybe a $25 onboard credit or something. One great one, I did see that with an agent that whenever a client sent them, they empowered their clients to send referrals. And when the client sent referrals, they gave them a $25 onboard credit. They gave the customer being referred a $25 onboard credit. Boy, imagine telling a client, anyone you send to me, you can tell them that because they know you and you sent them to me, that they're going to get a $25 onboard credit for their cruise. You can get really creative with how you empower your clients to send you referrals. But when you tell them that they're able to give something that they, as the client, are able to give something from them to their friends and family as a result of that referral, that's really empowerment, and that works terrifically well. So I think we're a little bit over here. Yep. Oh, yeah. For 3:47. Thank you all for your attention. Danielle, do we have any questions that we might be able to answer?
Yeah, we have a couple. So the first one is actually a comment from Eva, and she commented that she wanted to let everybody know that our CLIA Find an Agent works and that she has gotten business from it. So I thought that was really nice and awesome to share. So thank you, Eva.
Eva, thank you so much for sharing that information. And you know what? I'd love to highlight you. Let me Eva, you contact me if you would, and I'd love to feature you in one of our Travel Agent Cruise News newsletters. So reach out to me, Eva. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for the nice comment.
Awesome. And then we have a couple of questions. I know you showed everybody where they could find the CLIA logos, and there was a couple of questions regarding where they can locate their ACC or MCC logos. And I don't know if those are on my CLIA. Do you happen to know where they can locate those?
I do, Danielle. Thank you for asking. So basically, no, there is no logo for your ACC or ECC. It does come up as a little dot on Agent Finder. You'll know that your certification is active if it's after your name. So when you sign into My CLIA, you'll see your name, and if your ECC or your certification is active, you'll see it right after your name. And also, you can go to My Certifications tab. That'll show you that your certification is active, and that it's you know, when you received it and so forth. But in terms of find a travel agent, let's choose Boston. I think that's the right zip code for Boston. Search. Let's see. Yeah, you can see like Wendy, for example. She's an accredited cruise counselor, so she came up. She's the closest accredited cruise counselor to Boston. Let me go to DC because there's more of them there. There we go. Search. Here we go. You can see all so the little certification icons are right there, and they're listed here. If they're talking about these in terms of logos as a cruise counselor, I believe that those are not posted and not available on the CLIA website. Let me find out about that. Whoever asked that, if you could pass along your information to Danielle, I'm going to find out about bringing that back, because wouldn't it be great to be able to put that little button on your business card? Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you for asking that question. I really appreciate it.
And then a couple of other questions in regard to the agent finder. So I know our CCC level is a brand new certification level, and I don't believe it is sorted on our agent finder currently.
Not yet, not yet. The CCC is something, so we're in the process of building the new website, as you well know, Danielle. And so we'll be including the CCC as part of that agent finder on the new website that'll be launched later this year.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay, perfect. So the next question is about the complimentary courses. If you could just show them where they can access them, I think that would be super helpful. There was a couple of questions related to where they could find them.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, and I see my friend Gail McLeod is out there. I see you. Hi, Gail. Gail's awesome. All right, let me see. We're going to go to, so from the main page of my CLIA, we're going to go over here to that panel that says, where would you like to go today? Right here. And then I think it's what, 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth link is training and certification. Oh, sorry. We got to fix that link, Danielle. Let them know.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go a different route, because I know it works. I tried it yesterday.
Yep.
So from my CLIA, we're going to go over here to travel professional. And then we're going to go to professional development and training right here. And then online learning courses. See on the left, professional development and training. Online learning courses. We're going to open that up. And here's the online course catalog. Click on that. And it takes a moment because it's, there we go. See, they're $49 a piece, ladies and gentlemen. But you get 2 courses for free as being part of CLIA, being a CLIA individual agent member. So you simply view the product. So say I want to do cruising. Actually, let me do one that I would do. Developing a group business. So you click here, view product. I got to log in. There we go. And then developing group business. It talks about the product description, the course description, and then you click add to cart. And you see this? It says price 0. See that? It's zeroed out because that's one of my first ones. So the first 2 that you buy will be 0, and then you click add to cart, and away you go. So let's go from the top again, shall we? My CLIA, go to travel professional, professional development and training. You open it up, online learning courses, open that up, and click online course catalog. And it takes a second just because there's a lot of content there. And there you go.
Awesome. Thank you.
My pleasure.
So let's see. Lori asked if they could use the content, which I'm assuming she means like the logo and stuff like that, on their websites. And they definitely can, correct?
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, you'll see a lot of the most successful travel agencies out there use the CLIA logo on their website. So it's extremely important that you do so. In fact, I mentioned putting it at the bottom because you'll see the ASTA logo and the IATA logo and the CLIA logo at the bottom of a lot of, but some of them even put them at the top so that customers will see it. So yeah, it is. It's the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. You can absolutely use it on your website.
Awesome. Cassandra asked how long it takes to receive the Embark ID card in the mail. And once your agency approves you, it takes an estimated 2 weeks. And don't forget that the cards get sent to you this year and not your agency. So we estimate about 2 weeks from approval date to receiving them in the mail.
Thanks so much, Danielle. That's right, and it's been expedited because by skipping that one step, we, like Danielle said, we used to send them to the agency, and you know, for a lot of folks who are hosted by a big agency, it might take another week for them to send it out. So now we send it directly to you.
Yep. Oh, and I also did receive an update from professional development, and we do have logos for certifications.
Oh.
Those get sent to you upon completion of your certification by the professional development team. So they're not available online, but they do get sent to you as soon as you complete that certification level.
See that, folks? Even we're learning things. So I did not realize that we're doing that still. So I'm glad to hear that.
Awesome. Okay, let's see. All right, I think that's about it. If anyone has any questions about having trouble accessing courses or having trouble with logging into their profile, feel free to contact me and I'll make sure that you get everything worked out.
Awesome, Daniel. I appreciate that. And you know what, folks? Before we sign off, let's do one last thing, shall we? Let's revisit those coupons, the bonus commissions, because every one of you are entitled to $2,750 worth of bonus commissions. $2,750. So from the My CLIA main page, you just go over here to where would you like to go today? And it's the second link, Cruise Line offers bonus commissions. Click on that. Let's say you sold a Cunard cruise, Cunard Line cruise, and you're going to click on that and see it showing you a $100 bonus commission offer on Mediterranean and transatlantic crossings. Let's see. Click on it. Takes a second. Let's see. Well, we've got a lot of snow here, so my internet connection is not the greatest. Come on, baby. Oh, there we go. Here it comes. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. Look, so see, Cunard, for example, Cunard Line offers two $100 bonus commissions. Now, these are payable directly to you, the individual agent member. $100 bonus commission on Mediterranean voyages. Oh, you know what? There's a typo there. I'm glad we brought up Cunard. That needs to be changed to 17, Danielle. And then transatlantic, 2017 transatlantic crossings. So that's just an example of one of them. There are offers for all of our CLIA member cruise lines. Let's look at Holland America Line, for example. Holland America Line, $150 bonus, and hopefully this will load faster. It did. Look at that. 7 to 9 day sailing, January 1st to December 31st, 2017, 50 and 100. So bottom line is this, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to remind all of you that when you sell a cruise, you log on to My CLIA, the My CLIA online dashboard, and you go to Cruise Line Offers and Bonus Commissions. Click there. You'll see the logos. Couldn't be simpler. You pick the logo of the cruise line that you sold. Celebrity Cruises. Look at that, a $100 and a $75 bonus commission. It's $2,750 here, folks. Bottom line is CLIA membership is one of the only, I think it is the only travel industry association that has a membership that pays for itself. So please cash in those bonus commissions. Oh, and don't forget to join us for Cruise 360 in April. We're 68 days away from Cruise 360, our conference. We'd love to see you. And are there any other questions, Danielle?
No, I think that's all.
Awesome. Well, on behalf of myself and Danielle, I would love to thank you all for being here. And if you have any questions, if we can do anything for you, don't hesitate to reach out to you. We serve you, and we are grateful to you for your CLIA membership. Thank you, and goodbye, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.